First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Joel Barkin is the Vice President of Communications for the Oneida Indian Nation. A lot of talk about this budget. We'll get into some of that later on in the hour. But mobile online sports betting, what does that mean? There is a fear that that would mean an interruption in the agreement between the Oneida Indian Nation and the state and ultimately Oneida County. Joel Barkin, good morning.
Good morning.
So it's passed. I saw some sidestepping going on last night on some of the interview programs where some legislators were saying, well, there are things we have to work out. We've got to define all of this. Mm-hmm. But do you see that as a violation of your agreement?
Well, it certainly would be if there was any gaming within our region that wasn't administered by us unless we waive that exclusivity, which is what we had offered. And I think we're pretty disappointed and believe that this legislation is ultimately a step backwards, and that's not just us. This is county executives from Onondaga, Oneida, legislators, Democrats, Republicans, who understand that this would be a violation of the settlement, and what was ultimately passed doesn't address that issue. And, we worked very hard to bring a lot of different parties together, tribal casinos, the legislature, both the Senate and the Assembly actually passed legislation that would have addressed this. Commercial casinos were on board as well, and the state ultimately decided to, we think, create an unnecessary dispute. We remain open, in discussing workable solutions, but this would clearly be a breach of that settlement, and that is not a direction I think any of us wanted to go in.
Joel, can you explain one thing? Because I guess maybe I misunderstand. Is the issue that you'd like the state to, for lack of a better term, black out the availability of online gambling in for instance, in Oneida County, where you guys, or is it that you have an online product that you can offer and you'd like that to be the exclusive offering around here?
Neither, really.
Okay.
I think the issue is the 2013 settlement. What it did was give the Oneida Indian Nation a 10-county exclusivity zone in central New York, right? And in return, the nation makes settlement payments to the state in excess of $70 million a year. It has worked out wonderfully. Now, I want to put that in perspective. At the time that we signed this settlement, that the nation signed this settlement with the counties and the state, it was estimated that the best-case scenario would be that this would generate $50 million a year. It has far exceeded that. Yeah. We're now over closing in on $500 million. So this is unquestionably, objectively a success.
Sure.
Now, with that exclusivity zone, what that means and what the state has agreed to, and the county said that there will be no other gaming that is allowed in this region that is not controlled by the Oneida Indian Nation. We were willing to waive that exclusivity so that Central New Yorkers could participate, and with any company, right, in return for being one of the operators in the state on this, which the Senate had agreed to, the Assembly had agreed to, other tribal casinos had agreed to. Everyone understood that this was ultimately a fair resolution, including county leaders, etc. Unfortunately, that's not the direction the state went in. So now it leaves a lot of open questions.
Can I ask you, when we're talking about online gambling,
sports betting,
so does that includes sports betting? It would include
just sports betting.
Just sports betting. This does not include playing poker or anything like that online. Okay, all right. Which is ultimately something that probably will be the next thing they address. Don't you feel that the governor has been part of the problem in a lot of what has happened when it comes to gambling in New York State? And what I mean is that just it's almost like he oversaturated. It's not almost like he did. He oversaturated the market where a lot of these casinos just couldn't survive.
Well, I think what we've always said is that, you should not put forward any gaming, policies that are going to interfere with successful existing economic development. And I just want to, I think there's a question about, because the language in the legislation says, the Oneida Nation can bid to be part of it, right? And I want to just put that in perspective a little bit because I think it's important. This exclusivity zone, it would be equivalent to like you buying a house, right? And you get the house, it's your house, but then the owner's saying, okay, now you have to bid on the backyard. No, we're not going to bid it. Like, that's part of the house, right? Like, that's what we've agreed to when you purchased. So that's so we're not going to go forward with that because that makes no sense. And I think that's not just the Oneida Indian Nation. I mean, this has been echoed across the region by political leaders, and I think there's real frustration that a very achievable resolution was there for the taking, and ultimately, wasn't the direction the state went in, but we're still prepared to have that conversation so Central New Yorkers can participate, and there isn't any issue with the settlement agreement, which is bearing all kinds of fruit for the region.
And the one, I mean, you're holding the cards, really, right? I mean, there's the revenue sharing with counties that is in jeopardy here.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be that way, and I think and nor do we want it to be that way. Nor does Ryan McMahon from Onondaga, or Tony Picenti, or Senator Griffiths, Assemblywoman Pam Hunter, Assemblywoman Buttonshaw, right? I mean, there was broad consensus from the leadership here that this is not good policy.
Is this in any way, and I'm probably asking you to surmise here a little bit, but there's any way that your success rivals your success over the lack of success, really, of state-run casinos is motivating this decision?
I can't speak to, but I don't think this was necessarily an issue of, attacking the nation over commercial casinos in this instance. I just think there is a fundamental misunderstanding or a lack of willingness to deal with the reality that this gaming exclusivity zone exists, and you're going to carve out a huge part of the state. There's going to be a hole in upstate New York from being able to participate unless this is addressed. And we think that we are still very much willing to work with the state and whoever else that we need to work with in order to fix this issue, because it doesn't need to unfold like this.
Okay, so now we really are going to be in a situation where we're going to wait for the Senate and the Assembly to kind of carve out the rules in this deal and how they move forward, right? I mean,
some of the
it's their move. I mean,
there are rules in there, and I think that the program will go forward, but but the state will need to come back and address this, because otherwise it's going to leave a massive hole in the middle of the state from being able to participate, and it creates other challenges, as you noted, related to the settlement agreement.
So, just to be clear, what is it that you guys would be happy with?
I think in the original legislation that we worked very hard to bring all stakeholders, together in support of, and it would we would waive the exclusivity zone, or rights to this exclusivity zone, which would mean that any operator would be able to have gaming within this region, and people would be able to, whether you could work with any, the skins as they're called, and in return that the nation would have one of its servers located at a commercial casino and be able to participate in the program.
So would that allow you to participate throughout the entire state?
In that settlement, in that compromise, it would.
Yeah. And basically, you're saying we welcome the competition. We feel we can do it. We feel we can do it better.
Yep.
Okay.
And when you say waive your exclusivity in the 10-county area, is that only for mobile, or would that allow for another physical?
No, just for mobile.
I thought so. Okay, just checking.
All right. Going to be interesting to see where this all goes. This could be this could change all of sports betting. Well, that's the understatement of the morning, I guess. This will change all sports, but this is a major potential revenue source for you guys, and ultimately with
the state
and the state. But ultimately, would that end up being a part of? Or I guess the county deals are slots, exclusive to slot machines.
Correct, yeah. But in this compromise that we were willing to make, it would have created. We would have participated like any other operator, so that all of the same regulations would have had applied to us there.
So there's revenue in this for everybody. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I have somebody asking the question about Graziano's exit 34. That building has now been demolished.
Yep.
What is the plan out there?
Well, first let me say the background of that. Tony Graziano. The nation has tremendous respect. He's a legend for the entire community, and I think it should be made clear that the nation purchased that property a number of years ago, and on the condition of the purchase that we made, that the nation made, was you can run Graziano as long as you want to run it. Whenever you feel it's time that you're done, you just tell us, right? And that's what happened. So he retired this year, and and God bless him. I hope all of us get to live the career that he had. And he's a tremendous person and tremendous asset to this community. And now we are basically, as we like to say, have our blank canvas up, right? And we did take the building down just because we didn't want it to become an eyesore, and we weren't going to keep it as is. So for some safety reasons, we did take the building and the structure down, and we are now in the process of evaluating what to do with the space. But what I will tell you, and you guys know as well as anyone, whatever we end up doing and the nation decides to do with that space, it will be at the standards that people have come to expect from the Oneida Indian Nation, and it will be, I think, something the community can be equally proud of and add real value to the region.
All right. And one final note: the according to Tony Pacini, the numbers have bounced back in terms of your numbers and that revenue share that is part of the agreement here with Oneida County. You guys have been able to get through this.
Yeah, I think we're still, we're not putting the cart before the horse, and not at the finish line, but we've been, I think, successful in the sense that we have really developed a great working partnership with the county's health departments, Madison County, Oneida County, in our own health advisory team, which has put together policies. I think that clearly, that our guest feel is sufficient, more than sufficient, because we are seeing more and more people come back and take advantage of everything that we have to offer, and we're hopeful that in the coming months we'll be able to start entertainment again and expand some more of our night entertainment options. So we're getting there, but it's been I think we're very proud of the fact that our team in particular has really stepped up and been incredible, and I think we've created a model of how you do this the right way.
All I can tell you is some of these things are going to go away, and we'll get back to normal. And I don't want the spread of the common cold to come back. And whatever we've been doing in the last year has stopped that. So let's keep that going. I like not having a cold.
Yeah, lack of colds is good.
It's a good thing. Yeah, it's good.
I would agree.
All right, Joel. Sorry.
Especially if you got to carry televisions or whatever it is you were talking about earlier. It's much more difficult when you're not congested.
It's a very difficult job. Our job is very difficult when you're, but nobody's job is easy when you have that, the common cold.
That's right.
And very annoying.
You want your little speech there, and Joel's like, am I supposed to answer that?
What did I say to
colds are pretty bad.
More of an occupational hazard for you.
There's no doubt. Listen, I'm obsessive, and that's my obsession currently. So, all right, Joel, interesting stuff.
Thanks for your interest. I appreciate it.
Let's see where all of this goes. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right. Joel Parkin from the United Indian Nation. There's money to be had for everybody in this thing. Let's see how it goes forward.
Are you ready to launch your career to new heights? Visit careers.dish.com/technician now and uncover a world of exciting opportunities waiting just for you. From cutting-edge technology to a supportive work environment, Dish has everything you need to thrive. Don't wait any longer to kickstart your next opportunity. Apply today and join the Dish family where innovation meets opportunity. Visit us online at careers.dish.com/technician. Your future starts now.